So I see that our next speaker's in the room, and if you're ready, I'm ready. Are you ready? She nods her head that she's ready. Now, some people know this woman already. If not, you've heard me mention her name this morning and yesterday morning, giving her and her marketing team great gratitude for being able to pull off everything that you see in the world, in our world, right? Everything you see in there and how they support our authors and our speakers with badges and swipe copy and all of that. So this is Miss Emily Bassett, and she is a marketing expert, and she is the co-founder of Start 'em Up Marketing Solutions. And today she's going to share with you about choosing the right social platforms for your business. I'm sure you're all going, you mean I don't have to be on all of them? But the thing you may not know about Emily, what is it, Emily? What is it we don't know about you?
Ooh, yeah, you did ask me that. Um,
Wasn't there something about coins and your dad?
I
Does it,
did, yeah.
what is that one?
That was very, very wholesome. We went camping when I was young, and my dad was kind of for the little, convenience store at the campground to go and get some. And when we came back, there was coins missing, and sure enough, little 2-year-old Emily had eaten some of the coins, and my poor father had to check the diapers for weeks to make sure it went through the system. So,
There you go.
uh,
Something you didn't know about our
yeah.
CMO. There you go. The music she's gigging to right now is Noah Kahan, and she has a very beautiful gift for everybody. She is going to do a target audience breakdown worksheet. Because, I mean, if you're going to do marketing, it's great to know that you're hitting your market, right? Because you can do marketing or you could do targeted marketing, and she's going to clear that up for us today. And then she is going to do, for one lucky listening winner, a full private social media audit worth $400. And that is her gift for us today. So Emily, our dear friend, for anyone who's been anywhere with us and turning the events that we've done and the Emmys and the Oscars and all that, you've seen her. Now you get to know her. So welcome to the stage. Not your first one, won't be your last one. We're excited that you're here today.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, Deb, and happy International Women's Day to everyone. What a fabulous Sunday. It's just been full, especially working in marketing. I feel like all I've been doing today is just posts and reels and this and that, and all things International Women's Day. So this is just sort of the cherry on top. But yeah, so like Deb said, I'm going to talk about sort of what social platforms are best for you. And I think,
Emily, your microphone's a little reverberating a little bit. No, we can't hear you now.
Better?
Oh, talk?
Yeah, is this better?
Perfect. Thank you. Ding, ding, ding.
Or- Yeah, my headphones are being funny sometimes, but cool. Glad we cleared that up. So yeah, so today we're going to talk about what social platforms are best for you. And honestly, part of me was debating this topic because I was like, does it line up enough with International Women's Day? But I think that all women are empowered if we can work smarter, not harder. So choosing the right platforms and kind of showing up on the right platforms is very in line with that. So that is hopefully what you guys can take away from that today. So yeah, so we're going to kind of just quickly jump through some of the main platforms. Like Deb said, my free gift is a target audience worksheet because you really do have to know your target audience to know which platforms you want to show up to be getting in front of your target audience. So it kind of goes two ways there. So yeah, that's something to know. Pin myself there. Perfect. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to talk a little bit about different industries and where kind of the suggestion is that you guys show up. And we will do a little bit of audience interaction the next few when I give you the prompt. If you want to drop any of your industries in, we can, whichever ones I see pop up on my screen, I can kind of touch on those ones specifically. So hopefully you guys can really take away some good stuff there. So. Cool. So just to summarize, so a lot of people I find when they start a business, they grab every single domain from every single platform. So LinkedIn, YouTube, X, previously Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, the works. Something new pops up and you feel like you have to grab it. So what we're finding more and more these days is showing up in the right way on select platforms is actually seeing way better conversion than just showing up on all of them and almost like exhausting your resources. So yeah, so let's kind of run through them. So LinkedIn, I mean, a lot of you guys are on LinkedIn. I know I'm connected with plenty of you there, and it truly is that B2B top platform still. So like lots of people report really high conversion rates on LinkedIn, and we have like lots of success there. Some of the best performing stuff these days is actually what we say when you kind of get your staff or your team or your clients to act as little digital ambassadors. So anything like a client updates, even something as simple as a staff birthday, that type of stuff is actually getting tons and tons of engagement on those platforms. If you're donating, if you're attending an event, something like this is a perfect LinkedIn post. Make sure you get some stuff from this event, whether it's a screenshot, whether it's, a selfie of you at your computer, whatever it is. You're able to keep that authenticity that all the platforms want these days, but tie in your personal, like your business relation. Um, if you are someone that has sort of a larger place, like a manager highlight or a staff highlight, those types of things do really well as well. And then if you're attending any events, so conferences, like this one, obviously summits, if you're on podcasts, like that stuff is performing really well as well. Two things that were kind of introduced, they're not new, but I find people are still kind of not as knowledgeable with them is LinkedIn articles and LinkedIn newsletters. So you can actually post articles. So what I've started to kind of tell some clients is you can almost have like your own mini press releases, So as much as you're not necessarily getting them to the wire or to the mainstream, networks, you're posting it in a way that LinkedIn wants it posted. So then LinkedIn will help it to get distributed more. And you can kind of post it as this like article or press release or something like that. So that's really cool. And you can actually get subscribers on there as well. This one, to be honest, I'm not sure if it's gonna last. They've kind of been A/B testing it for a little while now. But you can actually get people that kind of subscribe to you, and then you can send just them out, kind of a mini newsletter or like a little send out. So that thing is definitely cool to play with as well. But yeah, LinkedIn articles are definitely good and they're definitely liking it. LinkedIn, another thing that we are seeing, you can post videos, pretty long form videos these days on LinkedIn as well. So they do prefer that you post the video directly to them rather than doing a YouTube link. But we haven't seen large penalization for YouTube links. So that has been kind of nice. Linking out pretty much across the board, all the platforms prefer if you're not going to lead people out of their platforms, but we haven't found it to be like completely detrimental on LinkedIn. So what I usually say is do one post that's kind of that informative or education post. It's got all the meat and potatoes, all the stuff that the person needs to know with a nice easy link to click it. And then have some other posts that are just reels or not reels for LinkedIn, but like videos or just like nicer posts that don't have the link because then that gives them a chance to reach more people. So, but I mean, we're all in that world where if you're telling me all about something great that I need to join, I need to know how to join it as well. So I'm finding some people are very quick to be like, oh, LinkedIn or none of the platforms love a link out, and then they cut it completely, and then it's like this is just difficult to work with them. So yeah, so do try to have that one that's more educational, and then you can have the others that are more engaging and don't necessarily have that exact link. So yeah, LinkedIn, definitely a big one. Crazy enough, for professional services and kind of the B2B world, YouTube has really scaled up. So YouTube is kind of coming in second in the marketing world for that. If you are able to make consistent video, get it on YouTube and make sure you're cutting it up and using it for shorts as well. So long form tutorials, webinars, all of that stuff are doing well from like a long form video, and then anything 90 seconds and under, you've got your little shorts. And shorts are just absolutely blowing up. I will say for it's definitely, even in the last 6 months, I'm finding it's evening out more. But it was male dominant for a while, which was interesting. We were actually seeing, like Facebook being really losing the male audience and Instagram, but YouTube just skyrocketing with it. But women are definitely catching up. If something works, obviously the women are going to go and follow and do it. So yeah, so YouTube is working for both. And like if you have men or women as your target audience, and alternating that long form and that short. It is interesting. So YouTube is owned by Google. So you can learn a little bit more about the algorithm. Obviously, there's a lot to be said about, I mean, like if you're not full-time marketing, it's very hard to keep up with the algorithms. But we do find with Meta, so Facebook and Instagram, the algorithms are more hidden. You're kind of doing a lot of throwing things at the wall, and okay, this is sticking. Let's now double down and do this a lot more versus YouTube. So you actually can really, if you're into it, deep dive the algorithm of Google. They will tell you this is what we're performing best and this is what we're not looking for. Unfortunately, like the writing being like into like 100% AI written, Google is a no for. So same thing with your YouTube captions. You don't want it to be 100% AI written. You want to make sure you're humanizing it. You can get your ideas and you can do whatever. There's lots of very cool tools for AI, but you do want to make sure you've at least touched it with a human hand in some element before it goes live. Yeah, so that's kind of that one. But we are finding if you don't have a YouTube strategy right now and you have video content or can make video content, definitely one to kind of add to your list. Cool. Instagram. So this is a common debate whether it's Instagram or TikTok is bigger, but Instagram on paper does remain bigger. TikTok is beating them in the trends. So we laugh sometimes because they say, like, I have a lot of friends that will say, "Oh yeah, I just saw this on TikTok, so Instagram will have it 2 weeks later." So this is an interesting one. So like with Instagram and TikTok, they are very like they're photo based, they're visuals. It's all about producing visuals. So you can Instagram has alternated quite a lot with their algorithm on whether just video content is all that you should be doing. But right now, carousels are performing just as well as video content, so you can have a strong strategy with carousels. Single images are still never your best, but there's some impactful single images that can still get good reach. So I wouldn't say they're off the table. You wouldn't want to do like a whole, month of single images that wouldn't statistically do the best, but carousels and videos are definitely great on Instagram, whereas obviously TikTok is just a video platform. So what we're finding with clients specifically when you are not a solopreneur or you're a solopreneur that's busy, and doesn't necessarily have time to make consistent videos, is we can actually find the trends and follow the trends on TikTok, but then set them up on Instagram. So it's kind of like your marketing team or yourself as an individual, you have that TikTok account, you kind of keep track of what's going on and what trends are kind of coming up, because Instagram is kind of second to the punch, but it's like now you're ready to go. So now you're soon as it kind of launches on Instagram as being a big trending thing, you're already there because you already saw that one coming. So that's very cool. So I do advise a lot of business owners, unless you are committed to TikTok being your full strategy and making that consistent videos, following around trends that are very quick to change and kind of just getting that stuff out all the time. Instagram has a little bit more grace for, okay, I made 3 videos this week. That's good. I'm going to put some carousels in. I'm going to have a team help me, and then I'm going to make some more videos. Instagram kind of has more grace there. So almost all of my larger corporations that I work with go for more the Instagram game just because they can't keep up with the speed of TikTok. influencers, like brand ambassadors, if that is your job and you're just content creating all day long, by all means, TikTok has a world that it does very well for. And working with TikTok influencers is also super interesting. Sometimes people feel like if they don't have a TikTok account, they can't work with a TikTok influencer, but that's not true at all. If you have a product, if you have a book, if you have whatever, there is a book talk angle to TikTok. There's some really cool things on TikTok that do trend. You can get an influencer and work with them, and they can still blow it up on TikTok by all means. You don't need to have a TikTok account to benefit from that. But yeah, so we actually sometimes say we don't let our clients have a TikTok strategy until they prove they can keep up with the video content on Instagram. So, and it's nothing like against anyone. It's just like let's be realistic to what you can do and what you have time for. And oftentimes, business owners doing their thing don't have time to be full content creators, at the same time. So and then there is Pinterest. Pinterest I absolutely love. So it is also sort of a visual search engine. Um, Super big on like home decor, wedding stuff, DIYs, very like that planning element. Um, it does have a sort of shopping feed in it, so you can link directly out to products. So definitely if you have products, it's a very cool place to be. It is absolutely dominated by women. I think the last study I saw was like 92% women. So definitely a women-centric platform. But there's 8% there if there's something specific. I wouldn't do a full male strategy there by any means, but it's not to say that you could hit people as well. But yeah, so Pinterest is all about they actually don't video does not perform better than pictures. You can have images that perform just as well and single images that perform just as well. But Pinterest is literally a search engine. So it's all about the keywords and the things that you're putting in the captions. So you need to, this is where, and we can touch on hashtags. I don't know if we'll have time to really get into the hashtag world because that's ever changing. But um, it's not like Pinterest takes every word to be a keyword, which most of the platforms are doing as well. So if you're consistently, if you want to show up for the words, author, you need to put the word author in as often as possible, but still make it sound authentic, which is where hashtags used to be a total dream because it didn't have to feel authentic. You just threw a whack ton of hashtags at the end. There you go. You've told the algorithm, these are the keywords I want to show up for. And, Bob's your uncle. But unfortunately, like that is changing a little bit more. They're really saying like, no, these keywords have to make sense in the respect of your post, and have to go from there. The really cool thing about Pinterest is it is not time sensitive and it is not, what I mean by that is it doesn't matter what time of day that you post. And then also it doesn't matter if you posted something 2 months ago, that still has a good chance of performing. So I have posts for some clients from 2023 that to this day will still be my top performing post of a month. I'll have other posts that do really well, but it's like, oh no, that one was crazy. And it continues to get the client's conversion and continues to get them traffic to their website. So it's like once you do, and then obviously we've looked at those posts that perform really well and we've recreated them in different versions. So yeah, Pinterest is way more forgiving. It's a really nice platform for just being able to get stuff out, especially if you're doing stuff on your own. If you feel like you have a women centric audience and it falls within, even like if there's any interior designers out there, definitely jump on Pinterest. If there's wedding planners, if there's honestly, like, I haven't super dove into the Pinterest coach game, but there's one there for sure. So it's just like getting in front of the people with the right messages, and then just leaving it there and letting it perform, and then constantly watching your analytics to say, okay, what's performing the best, and then going from there. Yeah, so Pinterest is definitely a really fun one. And then the last one that's worth, there is tons that pop up all the time, but to be honest, I don't jump on any or advise my clients to jump on any until it's been around for 1 year, unless it's like blown up. Like TikTok, funny enough, TikTok was small before it became big, but it still kind of came big faster than some of the others. But we do have Twitter, which is now X, that is still alive. There is a world. Tech is still there. News is still there. Definitely political news is still there. And there is sort of a customer support element that still lives on TikTok or Twitter, sorry. So if you get caught in the airport and nobody's answering your calls and your flight is canceled, people will go to TikTok or Twitter, gosh, saying the wrong thing, and they'll tweet WestJet or Air Canada or whoever it is, and suddenly they're getting a call and everything is solved. So if you haven't done that before, it does work. But people kind of keep it for that customer service piece. So yeah, there is a little bit of life to it. It does change. It's changed a lot since like the change in ownership. There is a lot more paid gateways for businesses. So we did test in the beginning, like with some paid businesses. We also watched other people that were testing with paid gateways, and it was not worth it for any of us. So super happy to talk to someone where it was worth it for you. But otherwise, we just say, if you're there and there's any use to you, that's cool, keep it. But it's not necessarily something that it's not a place I would start on tomorrow. Um, yeah, so if you do, or you're like listening to this and you're like, you know what, cool, I have way more. Oh, wait, I didn't talk about Facebook, did I? Facebook, last one. Before, so Facebook is still, from a number of people on the platform, it is still the winner, which might surprise some people. But it's also been around for quite a long time. So, that certainly doesn't speak to people that have, kind of abandoned their accounts, or their accounts just exist waiting to be hacked by somebody in a year, But Facebook is still there. What we've noticed the most is that the community groups are super alive and well. Like, we have our own community groups in this community, but even like we can get a reach of like 100,000 organically for clients just by being in the right place with Facebook groups and interacting in ways that aren't just spammy business ways. So yeah, so that's been super interesting with Facebook. We like there is still a posting strategy, in the sense like we'll post for the purpose of what posts are going to do well in other groups, and then we'll kind of share those posts to the groups. So we find growing followers isn't necessarily a on Facebook specifically, it's not necessarily our top strategy. We have some clients that want it. We kind of say, it's a vanity metric at this point. Like our reach is not reflective of your followers. So if it's just something that you feel like you want to have, we do say like we want to get everyone. Well, you don't see your full analytics unless you have 100. So definitely if you've just started your business, you want to pass that 100 mark. But you're not necessarily doing like active follower strategies. Whereas like LinkedIn and Instagram and stuff like that, there's a lot more like active follower strategies. So that's kind of exciting about Facebook as well, is that, you don't have to go crazy with posting. And you could post once a week and then just go engage in Facebook groups and you'll be set. Some of you guys have probably talked to me like Facebook, I love, like I know Dad's a huge Facebook lover as well. But if you teach the algorithm who you are and who you're looking for, it just spoon feeds you. Like I open up Facebook and all I see is people looking for websites, people looking for social help, people looking for SEO, because that is what I engage with. That is what I pause on. Like I just use Facebook as a business tool, and therefore it is a business tool for me. So, by all means, it's not what everyone uses Facebook for. You can still have a very personal experience on Facebook, and that's great. But be very intentional. Like these platforms follow your eyes, you know. So on Instagram, on Facebook, if you are signed into your business account and you're doing business, like do not even hover over that cute cat unless it applies to your business, you know. You need to just focus on who your target audience is and what types of posts you want to see. The other big one that people do is they spend way too much looking at their competitors, and that is all the algorithm shows them is their competitors. You don't want to look at your competitors on your business accounts ever. You know, you can have a personal account and do whatever you want there, but your business account, you need to teach them who your target audience is, and you need to only pause and only comment on those. I've said to people too, you might be intimidated. Maybe it's a huge project. You're like, ooh, that's what I do, but not there. Just like the posts, you know, because then something similar is still going to show up, even if you're not ready to take on that project. So yeah, lots of exciting stuff across the platforms. Oh, what I was going to say though about if you have, so say you're sitting here being like, okay, I'm like, well, I already have all of those platforms. What do I do now? So instead of just killing off the platform, we actually suggest to put a post up that just tells them where you play. So, hey, we don't actually post on Instagram anymore, but be sure to follow us on YouTube and Facebook, you know, or so that shows the person that you have not closed the business. You'd be shocked at how much people are quick to take an easy answer and not look into it further. And the last thing you want is someone go on your Instagram and go, oh, Liz must not be coaching anymore because she doesn't post on Instagram, you know. Whereas if you have a nice, beautiful post that just says, hey, you know, we actually hang out or you know, on YouTube and Facebook now. Come follow me there. It's very clear. Okay, no, their business is not closed. They just aren't posting on this platform anymore. So, yeah, that's what I kind of suggest. I have been asked a lot, what's the secret number? How many should I have? Da, da, da. I don't think there is a secret number. It really depends on what content you have available, but we say 2 to 3 is perfectly a like good number, very digestible, and you can make intentional content for each platform. So what we do with our clients and what like I, you know, can advise to you guys as well is post similar stuff when you get started across all platforms. We'll start to look at what performs the best on each platform and then optimize that platform based on what's doing the best. So don't exhaust yourself with making 3 strategies out of the gate because you'll learn different things from different platforms and it'll just start to be confusing. So we say whenever you're A/B testing, try not to add too many you know, try to have some things consistent. So start off with just doing the research, finding your target audience, making content that kind of appeals to them, and then you can start to optimize it for those platforms as you kind of get some analytics as well. So cool. Yeah.
Woo! Jazz hands. I know everyone's like feverishly writing.